Okay, we got two more Pythagorean identities we need to talk about. I've got my triangle drawn in here. I'm going to focus on angle A. I want to look at what is the tangent of angle A, and that is, tangent is opposite over adjacent, so A over B. I want to look at 1 plus the tangent squared of A. Now first of all, remember what that notation means. 1 plus, you're taking the tangent of A, the result then gets squared. Okay, so 1 plus, the tangent of A is A over B. Okay. A is not A over B, but the tangent of A is A over B. Take the tangent of A and then square that. Okay, so this is 1 plus A squared over B squared. I'm going to get a common denominator, so I'm going to write that 1 as a B squared divided by B squared. Equals plus A squared over B squared. Scroll up a little bit. Now I have a common denominator. This is B squared plus A squared over B squared. But hey, wait a minute. I'm dealing with a right triangle here, so that numerator, A squared plus B squared, here's the Pythagorean theorem jumping in again. That's why this is called a Pythagorean identity. A squared plus B squared is C squared. So this is a C squared on top. And C squared, okay, and then I'm going to rewrite this way. I'm going to write this as C over B squared. But C over B, ratio of sides, C divided by B. I'm talking about angle A here. So angle A, hypotenuse divided by adjacent, well, that would be the secant of A. So this thing is equal to secant A. But that's squared. So secant squared A. The identity then is, we started off with 1 plus tangent squared A. It's equal to secant squared A. Okay. Looking at notation here again, there's a lot of parentheses got left out because first of all, the tangent of A really should be written this way because A is the input to the function. We put the input in parentheses and put the function name out in front. Then the squared is take that result and square it. Likewise on this side, the secant, it should be written secant of A and then take that result and square it. So this is how it really should be written in the proper notation. However, it is so common, all the books do it. They write their trig functions without putting the input in parentheses, and then when you're squaring a trig function, they just write it as the trig function squared, so tangent squared. Figure out what the tangent is, square it. So this is what it really should look like. Right? So there's the second Pythagorean identity. 1 plus the tangent squared A equals the secant squared A. And I have one more to go, so let's put that one in really quickly. I'll draw my triangle in again here. Here's A, here's B, here's my right angle C, big C. Little c is the opposite side there, little a is the opposite side here, and the opposite side there. Okay. So focusing on angle A, this time I want to look at the cotangent of A. Cotangent of A is the adjacent over the opposite, so B over A. And I want to look at 1 plus the cotangent squared of A. 1 plus the cotangent squared of A is 1 plus the cotangent of A is B over A. And by cotangent squared, I mean take that fraction and square it. Right? So 1 plus B squared over A squared. Getting a common denominator here, write that as A squared over A squared. And look what's happening to the numerator again. I got an A squared on the bottom. And I've got an A squared plus B squared on the top. A squared plus B squared in this triangle is C squared. So I've got C squared over A squared, which I want to write as C over A squared. Now I know I go pretty fast here, but you can always rewind a little bit and listen to me again. C over A, I'm talking about angle A here. C and A, that's the hypotenuse on the opposite side. That must be the cosecant, and it's squared. So this is the cosecant squared of A. The identity that I just ended up with was 1 plus the cotangent squared of A equals the cosecant squared of A. There you go. 3 Pythagorean identities. To rehash here, let's put them down. We've got sine squared a plus cosine squared a equals 1. 1 plus the tangent squared a equals the secant squared a. And lastly, 1 plus the cotangent squared a is the cosecant squared a. Pythagorean identities.